for the series for these cars. What is going on with that car? Did you see that car? Wait a minute. 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 Can I catch up to it? What? Whoa! What is what is happening here with this car? What? Whoa! Both cars are doing it. What is going on? What is going on? That car's doing it too. What? The red one's not. What? Okay. Well, that's a first. I just saw that out of the corner of my eye when I was driving in first-person view. What was that? All right, gang, welcome back to our investment challenge here in Riverview. It is now April, and it's a selling kind of day for us today. Now, technically, the wool is not best to sell until May, normally, but right now it is actually better than what the average price is at the farmer's market. So, we're going to go sell it right now. And the goat milk isn't bad either, so we're going to sell that too while we're at it. Now, the goat milk has to go to a different location. It cannot go to the same place as the farmer's market, but that's okay. We're going to go to the farmer's market first because the goat milk is still at a decent price and it's not really dropping too much, whereas the wool is dropping pretty heavily, so we're going to go get that taken care of. The goats, the sheep, they do still have a little bit of meadow grass in there, so they should be okay for today, and you know, we can deal with the grass at that point after that. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're all doing well. Now, I don't think we've been to the farmer's market yet on this map. I think we've driven past it a couple of times, but I don't think we've actually been here yet. So this is going to be a first for us. Things are doing good here for the most part. Today we don't have a whole lot to do, as I mentioned, right? We're going to do a little bit of work in our yard. I think it's going to need a second application of fertilizer. It will. So we'll take care of that today. Otherwise, that's the only main objective for today. We're going to do some more contracts, I'm sure. Pay off $5,000 more of the loan today, as we've been doing. That's one of my little side objective goals, is to pay $5,000 off every episode whenever possible. So we're going to do that today as well. And we'll see where we get to as far as the contracts go and how much money we get out of this goat milk and this wool here. It should be a decent amount. I would think somewhere between the $15,000 to $20,000 range total once everything's said and done. Which is good, man. That's it's going to be some well-deserved, well-needed money for us for sure. We are hurting a little bit here. All right, so I don't think the actual pallets will go here. I think they're going to be on the other side here. I would assume this is set up the same way that it is anywhere else, so... I better strap those back down, I guess. There they go. Oh, wow. 14,000 out of the wool. I was not expecting that much out of the wool, I'm going to be honest with you. That's fantastic. That is really, really good. I was expecting a lot less than that. Whoops. All right, that one I'll blame. That one we can blame me on. That was my fault. I apologize. All right, easy, Byron. Easy, Byron. Right. So we're going to go down here and sell this. Now, the goat milk we're going to go sell at the typical location where we sell most of the stuff, near our yard down there at the harbor area. It's where I would say 99% of the time we've been selling everything is there. So we're going to head down that way to sell this goat milk. The goat milk should get us a slightly over 15,000, I think, 14,000. Because I think it's worth around 9 grand still. Maybe it's 8.5, something like that. But either way, it should be around 14 because we have almost 2 full pallets here. So that'll be good, man. That'll get us to 50 grand at least, at a minimum. Probably the low 50s, honestly. So that's going to be very helpful for us in our strive here to carry on. Now, ideally, we need to get some kind of a mower here soon. We don't want to just continue to lease a mower over and over again. And now that we have grass in our one field that we own, we really need to have one in our possession so we don't have to continue to keep leasing them. Leasing's not a big deal, right? It doesn't cost a ton of money depending on which mower you're getting, but over time you're wasting money, right? You're throwing money away over time. So really we need to buy one ourselves. Now, one thing I wish we had on console here that we do not A lot of the guys that we do all these challenges with, they all have a mod that allows you to do a lease-to-own kind of thing. I wish we had that. We do not have that. Somebody needs to figure out a way to make that and put it on Mod Hub so we can utilize it. That would be awesome. I could do a lot of different series, I think, with a lease-to-own setup. I don't normally like leasing. I've mentioned that more times than I can probably count on this series specifically, and in every series in general, for that matter. Is it over there? I think it's over there. It is. But if we had that option where you could do kind of a lease-to-own thing, I could see that being a good starting point for a lot of different challenges that we could do, right? 14,872. I was almost right on the money. I said just over 14,000. And we're in the low 50s. 53,695. That's awesome. Now, I did do one upgrade off camera. It's a very, very minor upgrade. It's nothing major. I use this in a lot of different series, at least initially, and then I eventually upgraded to something a little bit better. But I did put down a maintenance area. It's the pallet maintenance area. You know what I'm talking about? It's the raises the tractors up off the ground with pallets, and it's got like a little bit of a workbench right next to it. That's the one we put down because we needed it really so we could modify this trailer, you know, between a trailer to hold crop or a trailer we can utilize as a pallet trailer. Technically, that's a bale trailer we're currently pulling right now, but we're utilizing it for pallets. So the only thing I don't like is it's got these little bars here in the back, and you saw there when I was stacking this up that I decided not to put another one on the back there, and that's because when I was trying to put the one back there, I was having all kinds of issues with it. I did that off camera, obviously, but man, I kept running into it. It was a bit of a mess. So let me pull over here to the side. I'll show you what I'm talking about. You just saw it, but I'll show it to you just in case you haven't watched any of my other series. It's this little thing right here. It's not bad. I mean, it's kind of a little. I mean, there's just nothing to it, but it works, and it doesn't cost a whole lot of money, so we're just going to put it there, and that's just a temporary thing. It's going to go away eventually, but we just don't have a whole lot of money right now. Okay, so as far as the sheep and everything go, I think they have about 3,000 meadow grass left, I think that's what I saw. 2,951, so it probably was 3,000 at the start of the episode, so they're getting a little low here. Next episode, they absolutely will not have any meadow grass left, so we're going to have to make sure we find something for them, because I'm not sure our grass field's going to be ready in the next episode. Now, as far as the used market goes, what do we got out here? So the Nexit pack just came out, and evidently there is a Nexit thing out here in the used market, but we're not going to buy that. We don't have $388,000. We're not going to have anywhere near $388,000. One thing we are going to purchase, though, is this guy right here, this fertilizer spreader. It's going to help us out a lot because now we can do fertilizing contracts, which you all know that I love doing fertilizing contracts anyway as it is. And, yeah, so we're going to take care of that. We're going to buy that. And then we'll have to just kind of look into a mower here in the near future. It may not be today, but we're going to purchase this. So let's drop off the trailer here. I'm going to drop off the front loader as well. We don't really need to carry that around. It just gets in the way, especially with all these cars. Now, a couple of you were mentioning that because of the issues that I've had with the cars on this series, that's right, a lot of you just turn off traffic, and you're right, that would make it a lot easier, but it's been kind of running jokes for so long on the channel here of having issues with cars. As a matter of fact, the first series I ever put on the channel was the reason why the whole car situation started, and a lot of my subscribers and other friends of ours that are doing these challenges with us have all kind of came up with a lot of these names, right? So Northern Farm Sim came up with Byron the Black Car, and so there's a lot of different individuals here who have come up with names for the series for these cars. What is going on with that car? Did you see that car? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Can I catch up to it? What? Whoa! What is happening here with this car? What? Whoa! Both cars are doing it. What is going on? What is going on? That car's doing it too. What? The red one's not. What? Okay. Well, that's a first. I just saw that out of the corner of my eye when I was driving in first-person view. What was that? Okay, well, whatever. That was weird. Alright, well, let's get to the shop. Let's pick up the fertilizer spreader. We'll probably buy a pallet, I think, of fertilizer. As far as contracts go, are there any contracts for fertilizing out? There is. Let's go ahead and take it right now while we're at it. We're going to be right by the shop anyway, so we'll go ahead and accept this contract. There's only one, unfortunately, but that's okay. It's going to give us $4,000 and some odd dollars. That's almost going to pay for the fertilizer spreader by itself. So that's 100% worth it. So I will head up to the shop. I'll get everything sorted out. We will need to service that fertilizer spreader, but we're going to wait to service it until we get it back to our yard, since we just put down that maintenance area, right, with the pallets. So, all right. Well, it turns out we actually had a pallet up here. I kind of forgot about it. I think it's when we were doing a contract, we came up here and just dropped it off. I think it has almost 1,000 liters in it. 805. Yeah. We'll buy one more. I think it would be worth it to buy one more. Let me do a quick save here. Here we go. And I'm going to do, even though I probably won't utilize the liftable bales and pallets mod, I'm going to do it just in case for some reason I need to move it or whatever. We have that ability to do so. Like I said, I normally almost always only utilize that off camera. But if there's ever an issue where something gets glitched or I need to move something quickly and I'm doing some work off camera, that just makes my life a little bit easier, right? You're not going to see it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But I like to be honest about what I'm doing, right? Alright, so we've been to this field a number of times. We did some stuff in it in the last episode, I think, so we're going to head right back to it. And we're going to get to work. An ice cream truck behind me. Lots of ice cream trucks on this map, as we've mentioned a number of times. If you haven't seen the series yet, the way that this works realistically is we have to own 4 different yards, 4 different farms technically, and have 5 different livestock pens, and all of those livestock pens have to have a certain number of animals within them. So that's really the way that this works. We also have a $1 million loan to pay off, which we're trying to do a $5,000 payoff at a time every episode at a minimum, right? If we have the ability to pay more than that $5,000, we will do so. Big harvest, things like that. But early on here, early stages, we're just trying to shoot for $5,000 a month. So it'll help us as we carry along. And not only that, it will drop the overall fees we continue to occur from the interest of the loan itself. And I think it's this field right up here. It is. Just wanted to make sure I was going to the right spot. Now, let me move the camera out of the way. Holy smokes there, Z. What are you doing, buddy? So this is another field that I feel like I don't even need to turn on the steering assist. I'm going to get pretty close to it. I can turn the beacons off too. I'm going to get pretty close to it, and we can shrink down. At least I think I hope we can shrink down the size with this one. I actually don't even. I think we can. Yeah, we can. Okay. Alright, we're doing a bit of off-roading here, gang. I'm not sure if this is going to take us where I need it to go or not. If it doesn't, I guess we'll have to turn back around. But trying to find a shortcut path here to get to another field that popped up after we finished that last one for some more fertilizing. Another contract for fertilization. So if this takes us there, which it kind of looked like it would on the map, then we're in good shape. If it doesn't, well, then I guess I just kind of screwed us up here. And I'm thinking I might have screwed us up because we need to get to that field down there. And, yeah, we're going up a massive hill here, and there's no going down. That is the edge of a cliff into oblivion. Okay, well, how about that? I will see you at the farm then. Or the farm. The field then. And we will get that one fertilized. This was not a shortcut at all. It actually ended up costing me more time. Such is life. Alright, both of those contracts are complete. We are over here near our field, so I decided to just go ahead and let's get started over here on this one. I'll do a quick autosave here, and in the process, we're going to turn in both of those contracts. Both of those contracts should pay for the price we paid for this fertilizer spreader, so that's great. Now, the fertilizer spreader, as I mentioned, is going to need a little bit of service to it. That's fine. It's going to cost us, I don't know, it's not in terrible shape, as you can tell, so it's going to cost us a little bit, but it shouldn't be too bad considering the price of the actual piece of equipment itself and what we got it for. It shouldn't be outrageous. So let's see here. We want to turn in our contracts here. 4,839, so almost 5,000 right there, and 4,191. Boom! Look at that. Up to 52,229, which is almost where we started at. So we didn't pay much at all for this fertilizer spreader at this point. And we paid for the fertilizer we purchased as well. You got to think about that, right? We bought another box of fertilizer, which is basically going to pay for us being able to fertilize our field here. We basically got the field fertilized for free for the second application. At least that's the way that my brain works on it. Now, I don't know if there's any other fertilizing contracts out there. There is. I feel like I should just keep picking these up, honestly. That's right next to us, so we'll absolutely pick that up. Now, we might need another box of fertilizer to do that field. I'm going to be completely transparent with you there. I would be shocked if we're able to get it done with what we have remaining in here. It really depends on how much we're going to utilize up for the rest of this field here. I'm going to kind of go at it at a weird angle here. Because it is much easier to see where you've been, and since I'm not going to utilize the steering assist here, I'm just going to kind of give it an awkward angle here just so I can see where I've been and where I need to go. Now, what we might do with some of this money, since we got back up here, is actually buy a buying silo. So I've mentioned that many times before. That buying silo, you can purchase almost anything from it. We would only specifically utilize it for seeds and fertilizer or liquid fertilizer and herbicide. That would be the extent. We would never purchase anything else out of there. And water. Water we would do as well out of that. But otherwise, we would never get anything else out of that silo. So I think we might put one of those down. It's just convenience more than anything, right? We don't have to drive all the way up to the shop every single time we want to fill up or purchase something else for one of our implements, right? Purchase some kind of, you know, I was going to say resource. I don't think that's really the right word, but, you know, some kind of product for whatever it is. In this case, right, we're using a fertilizer spreader, so it'd be solid fertilizer. Now, a lot of people have mentioned, it wasn't on this series, but a lot of people have mentioned that there is no increase, which is a little disappointing, in the different size or the different stages of the grass. Whenever the grass is ready to mow, you don't gain any more grass by waiting for another month, even though it looks thicker and lusher. Unless they've made that update to that since the time of this recording. That is not the case. You can just mow it anytime you want. You're going to get the same amount no matter which, as long as you've got it fertilized twice and you got everything you're supposed to do to the field. You're going to get the same amount regardless of what stage it's in after it's ready to harvest. Which I really actually didn't expect that to be the case at all. I don't think we might have missed a little bit here. Let me look. Yeah, I thought so. I thought there was some right here in this area somewhere. There it is. I see it now. I didn't see it before, but now I do. Let me turn around here. Now, what we're going to do, and I've mentioned, I think, already on this, but in case I didn't, or in case you've missed it for whatever reason, the goal, what we're going to do with this field is, once we've got enough grass in there for the animals for a little while, we're going to get some kind of a silage maker or something for the silage, whether we wrap the bales or we have a production for it or whatever it may be. We are going to utilize that to help us. I think we're going to need more fertilizer, gang. I don't see any way that we're going to be able to accomplish that without more fertilizer. 329 liters is not a lot. Need to get a power washer or something as well. I've been mentioning that in almost every series. Something I neglect quite often is washing off the the tractors and the equipment, and that it's kind of funny to me that I do neglect it in the game so much, because in real life I wash my car a lot. I don't like my car being dirty. Let's see what happens. Maybe we'll get lucky. Yeah, we're going to have to go get some more. I just don't see any way that we're going to be able to finish this with 46 liters left, and we're only at 79%. We're going to be missing it by just under probably 10% or just around 10%. Little unfortunate. It is what it is, right? %. So let's go back to the yard and let's put down one of those buying silos. Let's do it. All right, so we're back here in the farm, gang. Let's find somewhere to put one of these buying silos. Now, I'm going to likely do the cheap one because it's still more expensive than buying it from the shop. So I feel like that's a perfect offset. Example, 1,000 liters of solid fertilizer, a box of it like this from Solid Fertilizer is like 19 and some change, 1,900 and some change. Out of this one, even with the cheap option, I believe a box is 2,400 and some change, so about $500 more than it would be if we were to drive all the way to the shop. And realistically, if we're near the shop, we're going to purchase stuff from the shop, but this is more for a convenience sake, and as we continue to get bigger, I mean, the money's probably not going to be as big of an issue anymore, right? Early on, it will be, certainly, but later on, it should be fine that we're spending a little bit of extra money in the grand scheme of things. So I'm not going to try to fill it to max. I don't know if I'm going to be able to stop it in time or not. You know, these things are pretty quick, but we'll find out. Oop, not far enough. All right, let me buy some. See, there you go. 534 costs us 1,281. So that tells you all you need to know right there. You can do the math on that and realize that it's a little bit more expensive even with the cheap options. So I don't feel like that's any kind of advantage to me. It's still a disadvantage because if I was to drive all the way to the shop, I would get it for a little bit cheaper. So let's head back there. We'll finish it up. It'll only take a few seconds, and then we can turn that contract in as well. And we'll see where we are time-wise, and decide our next move. Alright, we are pulling back up here, gang. We can get out of the first-person view, turn the beacons off. And we're back underway here. Now, we're going to spend $5,000 paying off the loan this episode, just like we have been for the most part every episode. As I mentioned earlier on, in this episode even. It's a lot of episodes there. We're going to be trying to save some money here. We need to get a mower. We also need to get what I showed you before, where we can actually pick up the grass off the ground and shoot it into the trailer. We probably need to think about a windrower as well. Luckily, on ModHub, there is a windrower that came out. It would take us probably a long time, but there is a windrower that came out, which is really cheap, but it only does, kind of one side, so I'd have to go up and down a couple of times to really, utilize it to its best ability. So there's that option for us. I'm not sure if that's the one we're going to go with or not. Realistically, I don't think I want to go with that for a number of reasons, mainly because it would take us an eternity. The size of the field we have is quite large, so I don't really think that's the best bet for us. But as you can see, even with everything that we purchased today, we're back up to $52,853, so we really only spent a couple $1,000s today. And we were able to add some things to our fleet, right? We've got a fertilizer and lime spreader now. We've got a buying silo, which is going to be a super help for us. $52,000. As far as purchasing a mower or anything like that, let's get back to the farm here, the yard here. We'll take a look and see. I'm not sure if we're going to buy anything today. I kind of am leaning towards not buying it today in the hope and the pray, and the odds are it's not going to happen because we got lucky with this fertilizer spreader, first of all. But if we're able to get something that populates like in the used market for us in the next month, the next episode, and saves us a little bit of funds overall, as far as mowing goes, I feel like that's a win-win, and I feel like the way my luck goes, I need to turn the beacons on here, first of all. The way my luck goes, I'd be the one to buy something, and then the next episode, here comes that same exact item I just purchased that I could get used and save myself a little bit of money. It's just the way it goes. See you at the yard, and let's see what kind of money we're going to be looking at here to actually accomplish the goal we need to accomplish within about 2 episodes, probably, or less. We're back here at the yard. Ideally, we should probably think about putting down a shed today, too. I don't really want that fertilizer to be out in the weather. Not really the smartest thing to do, right? So, mowing. Let's see. Where are my mowers at? There they are. Now, there's not a whole lot out here. What I would love to see in ModHub, and it's not there yet, is like a sickle mower. Those are pretty inexpensive. They're $5,000, $10,000 at most for a bigger one. So that would save us a lot of money. Now, I'm not saying we can't purchase any of these. We certainly can, right? We could get this one easily. We probably could get that one too. The double behind's a little bit more expensive, but I still think we could do it with these two easily, right? So we can afford them. We can afford them. But let's hold off. Oh, man, there's a bunch more fertilizing contracts out here. I'm not going to do any more fertilizing contracts. I feel like we've done enough fertilizing contracts for today, so I'm not going to do any more of those. I think we're actually going to leave the episode at this point. We are going to pay off $5,000 on the loan like we normally do, but we're going to go ahead and leave it here. $47,853 in the bank. Sheep and the goats are doing good. Hopefully in the next episode we'll be able to give them some more food because they're going to need it. Even if it means that we have to mow some of this grass that we have, laying around here on the outside edges, right? We could get enough to at least hold them off, hopefully, for an episode. And then hopefully our big field out there will be ready to harvest, or maybe we'll have some meadow grass, maybe, who knows. But, yeah, we're going to leave it at that. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you consider hitting that like and subscribe button for me. Both of those things help me out absolutely more than you can possibly imagine. Thanks to my 12 members. You guys are great. Cannot thank you guys enough. And I'll see you guys in the next episode.